I used to hop out of bed and within 10 minutes, everybody in my house was driving me crazy. Or I was screaming at people, hurrying up, trying to get everybody to get going. You know, I never felt like I had enough time. Maybe you can relate with that. It didn't matter what I was doing. I would always feel like I was rushing in the morning. I didn't feel like I was in control, and I absolutely hated that feeling. All I wanted to do was get everything done and be happy, and yet that wasn't happening in my house. Have you ever felt that way before? You feel like you want to pull your hair out before the day even begins. Today in this episode, I'm sharing how I changed one thing and just shifted one thing in the morning to help me to go from crazy, frantic mama in the morning and screaming and shouting at everybody or just feeling like I wasn't getting things done to a very calm, happy mom who was not only proactive, but was really getting a lot more done throughout the day. This is honestly the one thing that has truly shifted not only me as a businesswoman, but me as a mom and a wife as well. So my name is Blair Critch, and I help success-driven, overachiever moms keep that overachiever status while reducing stress and increasing energy without sacrificing time with your family, right? So I know I said, you know, that there was one thing that I did that was a shift, but it was actually from an amazing book called The Miracle Morning. You might have heard of it before, and yes, it was a book, and you know, I did read it and I listened to it, and I was truly convicted. There were a lot of things that I knew I needed to change, and I know I just said I love to help moms have more time and not sacrifice time with their family, and so you're probably rolling your eyes saying, ugh, another book, right? I don't have time to read a book. I don't have any extra time in my day. But I will tell you, 1 week you will have this book done. It is a simple, quick formula. It is a simple, easy read. I think in 7 days you'll have the whole book done. Super easy. But I also want you to listen to it because I think there's a lot of value in that. So put on your earbuds or your earphones while you're working out, or put it on in your car. However you have to do it, I want you to read the book, but I also want you to listen to it because I think there's a lot of value in both with this particular book. So 1 chapter a day, they're super short. Plus, I do truly believe that you're going to be thanking me after you take this time to do it. So, hey, and remember, I love to help you save time and energy on a lot of things. So if you haven't checked out my 25 apps for super busy moms, this will help you as well. On there are some of my tips for how I listen to things in my car as well, or keep myself occupied during those downtimes. So check out that. It's on blaircritch.com/rockstarmomapps. And I'm excited for you to check it out because I think it'll be helpful for you. But in Miracle Morning, what you're going to find is that you're going to start getting up earlier. I know, don't hate me for that, but you're going to love it, I promise. And you're going to tackle 6 steps every single morning that are going to totally help you stay focused on your days and your months. You're going to find your vision and your goals, which is going to allow you to be more proactive instead of reactive. And you're going to be ready to tackle life no matter what comes your way. That one for me was the biggest thing that I saw the difference in with this book. So I found that everyone needs to kind of have their own Miracle Morning routine. And so I'm going to explain the 6 steps and what they are. And then I'm going to really break down how I use it because I think everybody has to make it work for them and for what works for their life. All right, so the first, the beginning is S.A.V.E.R.S, okay? So S-A.V.E.R.S, all right? So the S stands for silence. Okay, the A stands for affirmations, the V stands for visualization, the E is for exercise, the R is for reading, and the S is for scribing. Okay, some of those you might be gritting your teeth at me right now or rolling your eyes. Totally get it. I felt the same way when I first got started. So I'm going to kind of break down for you a little bit more about how I made it into my routine and more comfortable for me and how you can make it into your own, okay? So starting off with silence, okay? I don't like silence. I'm a super bubbly, outgoing person. My cup gets filled by being around people. So to be silent in my own head sounds like a punishment to me. So I started off, first of all, with just doing 2 minutes of silence, okay? And let me back up for a second. You're gonna have to get up earlier. I know we hate to hear that, but the reality is you need to have enough time to be able to get through this morning routine before anybody else in your family wakes up, before they start to bother you, ask you questions, try to get your help with things. You need to be able to get this done, okay? So if you have young kids like I do, you're gonna have to get up a little bit earlier. I had to go from getting up at 6:45 and waking up the rest of the family at 7 to getting up at 5:45. so that we could wake up. We decided to change our morning routine, and now our kids get up at 6:30. So for me, I have to get up 45 minutes earlier than the rest of the family. And I don't love to get up super early. I am a morning person, but that's really early, right? So what I did was I put the alarm clock across the room. That allowed me to force myself to get up when the alarm clock went off. I also have another little trick. There's an amazing vitamin supplement system that I use that I literally take that vitamin as soon as I wake up. The alarm goes off. I go across the room, turn it off, take my vitamin with a full glass of water. You really need a full glass of water as soon as you wake up every morning. That allows me to pop out of bed, go brush my teeth, because that's another thing that will wake you up, and wash your face. Sometimes I go ahead and take a shower really quick as well at that time, because I know that that's the only time I'm going to be able to get it done in the day. Sometimes I have plans to exercise really hard in the morning, and so I won't take a shower right away. But I always go across the room to turn off the alarm clock, drink that full glass of water, brush my teeth, and wash my face. That allows me to be awake. So then I go into a quiet space, whatever that is for you. If you don't live in hot, sticky Florida like I do, maybe it's outside. For me, it is still super hot in Florida pretty much year round. So for me, it's an inside air-conditioned spot. But I am usually trying to find a spot. Maybe it's my office that I love, or I might find a spot in my house overlooking my beautiful pool in my backyard, something that makes me feel calm. And the very first thing I do is silence. I give myself 2 minutes of silence. And in that time, if my head starts to go and I start thinking about things, I have to quiet it down, okay? One time a life coach taught me, it's like walking a dog. You let the dog walk, 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 and then make it stop. Walk, 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 and then stop. Okay, so I'm trying to get my mind as clear as possible. And for me personally, nature helps me do that. So I look outside the window at some beautiful palm trees, at the animals going by, and I try without judgment, without thinking about anything, just looking outside. Okay, 2 minutes of silence. After that, I go on to my affirmations. Now, if you've never done affirmations before, just start with 1 and increase as you move on through the weeks. Affirmations are vitally important. It's training your subconscious to know and achieve the things that you want. It's putting your mindset like you've already achieved it. Then you can go out and do it, okay? Mindset is so important, and I will definitely, you have to check out another one of my episodes. It's gonna be coming up soon about affirmations, but it is vitally important, and so you wanna make sure you start off. So one of my key tricks is starting off with, I am happy and grateful, and then whatever it is. So I am happy and grateful that I am going to bring in 2 new promoters to my business this month that achieve their VIP. Okay, that's something personal to me. Think of something for you. I always tell people, start off with 1 for business, 1 for family. Okay, just to get yourself started. I am happy and grateful that I'm a loving and affectionate wife. For me personally, I'm not super emotional or affectionate, but my husband is. It's one of the biggest blessings, is that we're complete polar opposites. So I have to work on and really remind myself to be that physically touchy person, give him lots of compliments, because that's not natural for me. So find 2 affirmations to start with. If you're already an affirmation junkie like me, now, it took me a year, but I definitely am now, then you want to make sure that you go ahead and put all of those affirmations on a piece of paper, or maybe you've recorded your voice saying them and you listen to them. Whatever way you want to do it, either way is fine. So we've done 2 minutes of silence. My affirmations take about 3 minutes because I've got about 10 of them for this quarter. I like to do them by quarter. And then next I'm going on to visualization. This one is so important. You're taking the affirmations that you just thought about and you are literally visualizing yourself in that. So let's say one of your affirmations is to bring in, like I said, 2 new promoters, if that's what your business is about, and helping them to achieve their bonuses. Well, for me, I'm visualizing what kind of a person is that? How's that conversation going to go on the phone? How are we going to help them achieve those bonuses? How are they going to sound and feel when they hit those bonuses? What are they going to say to me over the phone? What kind of Facebook message are they going to send to me? I'm really visualizing all of those steps. Another thing, my family and I are trying to get a vacation home in Utah because it's a place that's near and dear to our heart that we go a couple times a year. So right now, my visualizations are so crystal clear. I have literally even found pictures of what I want it to look like on the inside. And I personally love to have on my phone my visualizations. So I have in a photo album on my iPhone is all the pictures that go along with my affirmations that help me visualize it. Sometimes I use it, sometimes I don't, because if I'm really into that moment or that thing, I can usually visualize it and feel it myself. You want to actually feel the emotion of what that brings to you. So I'm spending 2 minutes in silence, 3 minutes in affirmations, another 3 or 4 minutes in visualization, and then the E is for exercise, okay? This is gonna vary for everyone, but you'll see on my 25 Busy Mom Rockstar apps that one of the things that I love is the 7-minute workout. I love that app. It's super easy. It's 7 minutes, a quick workout that you can do anywhere. You don't need dumbbells or special gym equipment. You can really do it anywhere, whether you're traveling for work or you're at home. So that's something I do every morning during the E because it gets my brain flowing. Is that my exercise for the day? Probably not, but if I know that I'm not going to be able to get any other exercise in for the day, I will double or triple that 7-minute workout. That's one of the things I love about that app. Just a quick little tip there. So that is E for exercise. It's because we know it's important to get that done during the day. And so that could be 7 minutes for me, or it could be 21 minutes for me. And I'm also adding exercise in throughout the day as well. And then R is for reading, okay? And this is one that's vitally important and not everybody loves. Your reading could be whatever it is for you. I have a devotion that I read every single morning that's important to me. It could be in the Bible. It could be a topic that you're trying to study and become better at. If you need some ideas of my favorite books, you can check them out on blaircritch.com. I have all kinds that have to do with business or being a better person or being self-help or even biblical, whatever you're looking for, I probably have it for you there. But that's my time in my devotion. That takes me about 7 to 8 minutes. I'm reading it. I'm really thinking about it. And then my S is for scribing. So I combine scribing, which is basically journaling, with my devotion time. So it ends up taking me 10 minutes. I usually will write in whatever book I'm using at the time. I'll write right in that book because for me, that's what I like to do so that I can go back later. I usually end up using the same books over and over again over time. Like for example, I use The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy every January. Helps me refocus for the year. So I actually write in my books. Some people love to use a journal, and that's totally fine to go back and look at. But you want to make sure you're writing in there, even if it just takes a minute. Write in there, okay? And if you're not used to journaling and you don't feel like putting your emotions down or what you're thinking about down, then just start a grateful book. And every single morning, write, I am happy and grateful, and write what you are happy and grateful for, okay? So those are the steps, and you're going to have to figure out how that fits in for you. But one of the things that I can tell you is that some people love to do it after their kids leave for the day, before they start their work day. Some people like to end up doing it, you know, maybe before everybody wakes up, which is how I do it. You have to find what's right for you and how you're going to fit it in, but it's got to be the first thing that you're doing for the day. So, and if you want to get a free resource that I use to check off and make sure that I've completed my miracle morning, it's under files in our Blessed Mama Bosses group. And if you haven't joined that group yet, you're going to want to be part of it because it's full of other rock star, overachiever, success-driven moms just like you who are wanting to rock their life. They're wanting to be better as a wife or a spouse, better as a mom, better as a business builder, better at their career or entrepreneurship. You're going to want to be part of this group because we inspire, push, and motivate each other, but there's also tons of free resources there. And in there, under the files, you'll find my Miracle Morning Checklist. I've created a checklist because it helps me to stay accountable to myself of getting those things done every single morning. If I notice a pattern that I've gone a couple mornings in a row without doing that or skipping certain parts, it holds me accountable to myself. And I also can notice the differences in those days. Like, hey, you know what? I noticed that the last 2 days I've been a little bit crabby to my family. What's the difference? Oh, I've been skipping these few certain steps. It really does hold me accountable. So I also want to hear from you. Maybe you already are doing Miracle Morning. Tell me how it's going for you, what you've seen implemented, how it's changed your life. Or if you're just starting, just tell us about that. I want to hear in the comments about how it's helping you, what you're changing. Maybe it's just one thing, maybe it's all the steps, but share with us because your sharing and your comments are going to help other people have the courage to take that step to start doing this, and I promise you will see success from it. So I am so excited for you to start your Miracle Morning. I'm excited to hear how it's helping you, and I hope I see you on Blessed Mama Bosses group where we can talk about it even more. Have a great day.